at is Mr. Alex Without God, one of the most notorious atheists in America. Recently, Mr. Without God has been trying to use his influence to sway many people toward unbelief. He's had 10 atheistic rallies in Middle America, and most troubling is that with his charismatic ways, he has become popular with the youth. Mr. Without God's rallies are being financed by Mr. Ted Care for No One, a billionaire financier who keeps out of the limelight, but he uses his money to gain power. The mission, Arlen, should you decide to accept it, is to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with as many people as possible in Middle America, and to engage your one-way agents to do the same to prevent Mr. Without God and Mr. Care for No One to sway innocent minds to their ways. As always, should you or any one of your one-way force be caught or killed, you will inspire many others to trust God to be brave in the face of adverse circumstances. This recording will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Arlen.
The gist of my post is fairly obvious. The title of it is Your Mission Should You Decide to Accept It. Most of us who had TVs back in the late 60s and early 70s remember the repeated scenes where Impossible Mission Force agent Mr. Phelps went to varying secret locations to listen to audio tape instructions for his next Mission Impossible. It goes like this. Good morning, Mr. Phelps. Then came the detailed info about the problem and the dangerous people they were to encounter to try to solve the problem. Mr. Phelps was then told, your mission should you decide to accept it. Then this was followed by the exact desired outcome. The mission was considered so perilous that he was told at the end, as always, should you or any member of your IM force be caught or killed, the secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. Finally, Mr. Phelps was told, this tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Mr. Phelps. And then it was followed by the hissing and smoke of the burning audio tape. Then Mr. Phelps, in the privacy of his apartment, picked from an IMF folder the specialists needed to carry out the Mission Impossible. When I retired 4.5 years ago, I didn't know exactly what God had in store and what was his mission for me. I wondered to myself and to my wife, what are my next steps? I was fairly open to what God's plan was for me. I retired from working after about 29 years in the mental health field. But I hadn't retired from life. God showed me in a vision many years ago that he had a plan for me. I'm not special because I had a vision. Joel prophesied in Joel 2:28, and it was reiterated in Acts 2:17. Your young men will see visions. Yes, I was young at one time. I'm assuming that I am just one of the many young men over the years that have had visions because of what the Bible declared. I won't get into the details of the vision. That's not important. What is important is that it made me know with certainty that I was called by God to fulfill his mission in my life. And the mission of God has, for each of us, never retired, right? The mission continues until we finally meet him in heaven. So what is God's mission for me and you? Is it to be happy? Is it to be prosperous? Is it to have position and prestige? Is it to have a big family, including many grandchildren and even perhaps great-grandchildren? God's mission for us may include each of these things. Psalm 1:3 says of God's people who follow his instruction, whatever he does, he prospers. Does that mean only financial prosperity? Or does it encompass a lot more than that? Over a year ago, I took an online Dallas Theological Seminary course entitled Evangelism 101. Dr. Barry Jones, the instructor, talked several times in the lessons about the Latin term Missio Dei. Dr. Jones said about it, the Missio Dei is God's purpose on the earth to create and sanctify a people for his own glory. And also, mission should be the essence of the church, not just one of its many facets. Dr. Jones strongly emphasized that the mission on earth for each born-again believer is to participate in God's great rescue mission. The Mission Impossible team, which was fictional, and non-fictional military or safety forces rescue missions are formed to save countries and the physical lives of people. God's rescue mission, on the other hand, is to save the lives of people spiritually and for all eternity. Physical rescue missions are very important in our lives, but the Missio Dei of God is of far greater importance than other earthly rescue missions. Eternal life is in the balance. Satan wants to make it difficult, impossible, if you will, for us to fulfill God's great rescue mission. He will go to any lengths, even to kill us, to stop the mission from happening. In the face of that, God is asking us to put all else aside. He is saying to each of us, your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to rescue men and women everywhere you go.